here we are, beautiful, stormy, rainy day, waiting on a Precision Matthews 1440 TL delivery. So yeah, I think it's going to be kind of a interesting delivery. Plan is forklift should be here in about 10-15 minutes, and then the delivery gets here in about 45 minutes. I'm gonna just bring it into the big bay here to uncrate it, try and stay out of the rain a little bit, and then we will set up the sliders and the rollers and get it up into the final resting place over there. So forklift should be here soon. Good morning. It is, a little after my birthday. Made it all the way to October 23rd, but excitedly, patiently waiting on delivery of a Precision Matthews PM 1440 TL lathe. Ought to get here in about the next 45 minutes or so. A couple guys are coming to help me after that. We'll get it rolled around. But anyway, stay tuned. Should be a lot of video coming today. Lots of pictures of all this happening. Here's a staging area. Gonna get it into here, get it out of the crate, and then ultimately it will make it into its final resting place, into the shop next door, and we'll get it parked right over there. So a little bit of work to do before that happens. Catch up with you later. Okay, all right. I think that looks a little bit more like a lathe is gonna fit there now. Get those rubber mats up out of the way. Got the VFD all ready to go. So we'll pull up the flooring here in a minute, and we'll be ready to go. There's my 2x4s to get it up over the lip into the garage. Got my pipe roller staged down there. A little hand truck to lift up, move around. I think we're gonna be set. We'll see how the day goes. All right, here comes forklift. Beautiful day for delivery, huh?
Yeah, how's it going?
Good, how are you? All right, little forklift driving here. Yeah, we'll do this before the lathe arrives, but I think we got it. Got our quick 2-minute video or instruction from Jesse. It's been 25 years since I drove a forklift at the lumber yard, but not a whole lot to remember, so good to go. Got a little forward reverse. There we go. There, we got it in gear. And I think we're ready. We'll take delivery of this thing here in a moment. So we should be good to go. Got up, down, a little tilt forward, back and forth, and a little side to side for adjustment if we need it. And trying to be as minimal as possible. Get it off the truck, get it in the garage, and then from the garage onto the skids. Not moving this thing around very much with a forklift at all. So feeling pretty good. Stay tuned. All right, well, forklift is here and ready to go. So, what better thing to do than stand here looking up the street, waiting on a lathe. It's been, 55 minutes. Said it was gonna be here within the hour, so ought to come rolling down that street there in the rain any minute now. I think that looks like a big truck rolling down the hill. So I think I see it coming. All right, here we go. Yeah, we got a big truck, some tarps. Yep, there it is. Okay, well, it's all nice and rain protected. So, let's go run around and meet him. All right, there he is. Well, good morning. I didn't think it would fit sideways in a big truck, so, or is it in there lengthways?
Yeah, it's sideways right at the end.
Right at the end? Okay. I thought it was gonna be too wide, so I thought it was gonna have to come on an open truck. Good to go. Well, how's your morning going?
Doing all right so far.
Kind of wetting it. Okay.
So what you got here?
Metal lathe. So, all right. Well, let me go grab the forklift and get it out of there.
To be heavy.
Pair of boots and a sack of clothes, praying easy down the road I go, hanging memories on the highline poles, praying easy down the road I go, praying easy down the road I go. Huh! Ragweed's rocking on the radio, praying easy down the road I go. So I keep rolling like an old banjo, praying easy down. Well, there it is, inside, off the forklift, ready for some uncrating. All right. It comes well packaged, no doubt about that. Crate looks good, looks unharmed. Plastic looks good. Seems to be in good shape. And we now have it out of the rain and ready to go. just me. How about you? But I still say yes ma'am to my mama. How about you? If I shake your hand, look you in the eye, you bet yourself it'll be the truth. But I cover my heart with my hat and they fly the red, white, and blue. Just like my daddy taught me. How about you? But how about you? Do you feel the way I do? But tell the truth. Just me. How about you? I like my country rockin'. How about you? Well, just put me on a stage, man. I turn it up and I'll turn it loose. Give me a crowd that's a redneck and loud will raise the roof. But I might just stay all night long. How about you? Do you feel the way I do? I tell the truth, I think we're the chosen few. How about you? Do you feel the way I do? 'Cause man, I know where I come from. How about you? Well, my name's John Lee Pettibone, same as my daddy and his daddy before. You hardly ever saw granddaddy down here. They only come to town about twice a year. Buy 100 pounds of yeast and some copper line. Everybody knew that he made moonshine. They're the revenue man, wanted granddaddy bad. Headed up the holler with everything he had. For my time, but I've been told never come back from Copperhead Road. Granddaddy ran a whiskey in a big block dog. Bought it at an auction at the Mason's Lodge. Johnson County Sheriff painted on the side. Just a shot coat of primer, then he looked inside. Well, him and Miles tore that engine down. But I still remember that rumbling sound. Well, the sheriff come around in the middle of the night. I heard Mama crying, knew something wasn't right. Was headed down to Knoxville with a wiggly load. Smell the whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. So there it is, rolled in. Thank you, gentlemen.
Good. A lot of fun.
It all right, it fit in there as it was supposed to.
Looks gorgeous.
Got enough room in behind. We'll start messing with all the electrical, get it hooked up to our 3-phase VFD converter, and we'll be good to go. So, lathe is in place. came in just as planned. Couldn't be happier. Fits in there beside the mill. Got the flooring recut around it, so she's all in there. And I got it pretty much leveled up right now. You know, we'll see how it adjusts up once it starts running. But yeah, it's time to take some plastic off, start doing some cleaning, and then we'll get to some wiring. But yeah, couldn't be happier with how it fit in here, how it came in for the day. A couple guys helping, and everything just worked out as planned. So we'll set this up, snap some pictures as we're doing some cleanup and setup. Make sure we take some video once we get it running.
My folks cut me loose, I'm out on my own. This land of the free has it all, it seems. I'm gonna take it by storm, chasing my dreams. Well, I work 2 jobs just to try and get by. I'm taking college at night and college online. But as hard as I try, there just ain't enough time. Oh, the American dream is keeping me up at night. Yeah, that picture perfect life's got me losing sleep. Oh, there's so much stress we have to fight. And that credit card debt has gotten me in deep. We're all growing up the new American way, and it just ain't right. The American dream is keeping me up at night. My new job is tough, they don't pay me enough. Do more with less than make me work so hard. Then it's a head on home, watch your kids and mow the yard. I'm still chasing the dream, it shouldn't be this hard. Hell, it looks so easy to get rich quick, but I'm 35 and I ain't rich yet. The American dream is keeping me up at night. Yeah, that picture perfect life's got me losing sleep. And there's so much stress we have to fight. And that credit card debt has gotten me in deep. Well, my kids are growing up the new American way, and it just ain't right. The American dream is keeping me up at night. Well, I'm tired all day, I don't sleep at night. Yeah, there's so much to do, and here I'm watching TV. Well, just what in the hell is wrong with me? Hell, it's more like a nightmare living today. Oh, there's so many bills that I can't pay. Instead of living the dream, I walk around in a daze. The light at the end of the tunnel's a haze. Whatever happened to the good old days? The American dream is keeping me up at night. Yeah, that picture perfect life's got me losing sleep. And there's so much stress we have to fight.
All right, quick progress update. working on the wiring. So I've traced all the wiring up here, matched it with what was online, stripped out all the high voltage wiring out of here, cleaned it up, just ran the motor wire, and getting ready to run that 220 in there. Got the hole for that. We'll plug in the 220, and then need to work on replacing that switch down there and finish wiring in the new switches on here, and then we should just about be ready to fire up the VFD and get it turned on. So making some progress. Morning update. So there is all the wires that I've pulled out of the lathe, a couple buttons, all the high voltage wires, one of the contactors, and time to get busy this morning. So have input all the switches. Need to turn a better cover for that potentiometer once I get the lathe running, but we'll get to that. So anyway, we've got everything. It fits in there. Change the order around a little bit to make it fit. And I think we showed this last night, but got the motor wired up. Motor's ready to go. So now I'm going to come back here and run the 240, run the control wires in, and then we will finish connecting all these switches. Oh, and foot switch. Need to work on that too. It's right down there. Need to work on that foot switch. So that's what we'll be up to this morning. For my tack mount, forgot to show this earlier, but I didn't see it on the parts list, but came with this nice collar already on here. It all fits behind the cover, and there's even an 8mm tapped hole right there. So one of these holes was just barely under 10 millimeters. So I just drilled it out to, just made it a little bit bigger to 10 mil. I dropped my magnet in there, confirmed I had the magnet going the right way. And I'm about to drill a couple holes on this little aluminum bracket here. Make a spacer to go in behind. I'm gonna bolt that right there, and then be able to bolt on the tack reader. I'm gonna wire it up, put a grommet in the housing right up here. The wire will come out and be right there at the tack. So anyway, gonna get that wired up here in a bit too. Well, we got all the rest of the wires run. Just about have the foot switch done. Got the tack all mounted. Got all the rest of this conduit, all these other wires in there. So we got the potentiometer wires, VFD control wires in. The 220's hooked up. Ran the control wires for the forward and reverse, and now it's ready to just wire up that front panel, and we are pretty much there. Okay, we're probably within 20 minutes here. We got the rest of the controls almost all wired in. Foot switch is all in place. Got all the extra wires run. All the covers back on back here. Everything nice, neat, and clean. So, solder a couple things here, and then we will start testing, and then we will start turning things on. Okay, here we go. Powering up. Oh yeah. Okay, so 220 is on, so. Okay. Yep, so the transformer is definitely on back there.
Should be live,
It should be live.
Alright.
And I've got red light on up here for safety stop. Okay, so here's what we want to check. So I'm going to go flip the switch, like it's going to go forward.
Yeah.
So cross L1 to T1, that's where it should. Okay, so when I go to forward, it should make connection across forward. When I go to reverse, it should make connection across reverse.
Yep.
Okay?
Wait.
What's that?
Go ahead and do it off. Okay. Oh, that's reversed. Yeah, so, yeah,
Oh, so that's
reversed.
okay. That's an easy fix. We'll just all we have to do is we just have to flip 2 wires. I wanted to do a closeout to this video of the delivery and install of this PM1440 TL lathe. So of course we got it fired up last night. Took all weekend to get it installed, cleaned up, and set up with the VFD and all rewired. But again, did get it done last night. Of course, this camera was full, so had to shoot the initial fire up video with the iPhone. But it's only a day later and not a whole lot has happened since then. So just wanted to do a proper closeout to this one and show you how it all came together. Very pleased with how the wiring of the VFD went. I would highly recommend that to anybody if you're interested in buying a 3-phase machine. Don't let that VFD to put you off. So with that, let me turn this camera around and show you how it all came together and show you this thing in action. So here it is. And, you know, you can see it is all pretty, you know, fairly neatly wired up. So there's the VFD enclosure box. We've got the tack all set up and mounted under there under the DRO. You know, tried to get pretty neat. So here's where just had to file a little notch in the cover. It doesn't even go all the way through the fiberglass lip that's on the inside of that. So did a nice job. That wire tucks in and you already saw underneath here where the tack was hooked up. So that turned out nice, you know, cleaning up all the wires, run my control wires and another one down the side here into the electrical. And the 220 and the motor wire ran down that side and went into the electrical box over there. Tried to keep the control wires and the potentiometer wires separate, so they ran in on this side. So again, it gave me room. I can still have pretty good access to walk back in there, put things behind the machine. On the front side, we've got everything wired up. So coolant switch stayed the same, no change to that. Changed out the jog button for a jog joystick, so I can go forward and reverse, move that up and down, and removed the light to make room for the potentiometer. So this hole actually used to be where the light was, but just the spacing in the back. This switch needed this extra space, so that moved over to where the light was, and the jog button used to be here, so that is now the potentiometer. And then this switch is for stage 1 and stage 2 acceleration and braking. So when you're in your higher RPMs, you're going to slow down the acceleration and change the braking out to 3 seconds to make sure that you don't override or get an error on the VFD. So since I took the light out, we put in a lighted emergency stop switch here, but still left all the safety features in place. So, you know, by adding the VFD, you add variable speed and you add braking and some other things, but otherwise we kept all the other safety features, still emergency stop, all of that is still in there. So without waiting any longer, let's go ahead and let me get this camera put down and we'll get this fired up and you can see everything working. Oh, I did take the light from in there and I did put the light on the front of my enclosure box. So now I've got a good visual for when my enclosure is powered up and when that's on. So make sure I don't forget to turn that off when I leave the shop. So first step, let's come over here and plug this in. All right. So reach up here, turn this on, and now let me set this down and we'll go through some of the other functions here. So first off, let's see what gear I left it in. So I've got it in medium 2, so 180 RPM is what I've got it set to. But first with the jog, so there's jog forward, jog reverse. Coolant, I don't have coolant in there, but you can hear that it turns on, coolant pump works. And no other switches for the rest of that. So let's go ahead and get this fired up. So So there it is at 180 RPM. So with the potentiometer, right now I've got it set right at pretty much 60 Hertz. You can crank that up to 72 Hertz, get 215 RPM. And I can slow that way down. You can see the tach moving down there and changing that RPM. So if you look at this, so you see that stops pretty quickly. It's stopping within 1.5 seconds, I think it's set to. Same with the acceleration. If I flip this over to the second stage, it's going to start a little slower and it's going to stop a little slower. So a little slower going up and double that speed to slow down. So again, at higher RPM, it's going to be able to slow down there. And then still have emergency stop. If you undo that, you have to turn it off before it's going to restart again. And then the last thing, we did change out the brake, added one switch onto the brake. So if you stop, it lets it go into free run, so that if I were to slam the brake all the way on, I'm not competing with that VFD trying to slow it down. It lets the brake go in there and slow that down. So again, retained a lot of the original features of the electrical from the lathe, and just with that VFD, you really add in a lot of features by being able to jog both directions, obviously adding in the variable frequency, and taking advantage of the VFD's ability to help stop the lathe and break that instead of just being in free run all the time. Here's everything that came out of the lathe. So there was the original motor wire, the original brake switch, and the original emergency stop, and that green button was the original jog button. And again, the light got put in the door up there, so reuse that. So that's it. There's the closeout of this whole delivery and install. So Precision Matthews, thank you. Pretty happy with how this all came together, and looking forward to making some parts. The first one of which is going to be to make a proper little insert for that potentiometer knob, and make a knob for it as well. It didn't come with one of those, so I've already got my first couple projects planned out, and look forward to maybe putting videos out on those as well. Y'all take care. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.